Well, hey everyone, how's it going? My name's Shani and I'm a part-time reseller, and tonight is Sunday. It is November the 9th. I just got home from a long weekend away. It was my parents' 50th wedding anniversary, so not only did we have something special for them with some family and some close friends, but I also had a crafting weekend with my cousin and my aunt, with a few of my cousins and my aunt. And so it was like such a great weekend. I finished, not only did I finish a baby quilt, y'all, a rag baby quilt, it is finished. I did that on Saturday. I finished 3 Christmas tree jewelry crafts, and I wanted to show you, but I have several items going out, so I think I'll try to pack that onto some videos this week sometime. So, okay, it is Sunday. I have been gone since Thursday night. I got off work Thursday. I'm gonna be honest, this last week was stressful for me, and it was just not just with reselling, it was just everything. I actually, I've been tired this week. I just work has me down. I just, when you have those emotionally like wearing weeks, it was kind of like that this week. And I'm just being transparent and talking to you like you're my friend and you're here. It was just a hard week, and I don't know why. And I don't know, I actually like this time change. There's something about soup weather and just coming home and putting a fire on at night. It just is really homey, and I love it. But it also, this time change also gets you a little bit more tired, just because like you get off and it's dark and you just want to go to sleep. So on Thursday, I was working, and I texted my husband, and I was basically like, my body is stressed. I'm feel like I'm panicking on the inside, almost like a panic attack or something. But I just knew like I had a lot going on, and I think because I wanted to leave town on Thursday night, and I just felt like I had so much on my plate to like pack my truck, and just we were doing my parents' 50th wedding anniversary party. So I just felt like I had a lot. And so I told him I just have a lot going on, and I've let this space get disorganized. My house was a mess. And it's just, when you leave out of town and you're like, oh my goodness, my house is a disaster. That's what I'm going to come home to, which it really isn't. But anyway, and he was like, he was just really supportive. But anyway, long story short, I left town on Thursday. When I left on Thursday night, the last thing I did was package an item for shipment and for pickup that next day. So I'm going to show you what I sold. Oh, did I write this one down? Yes, I did. So this one did sell on Thursday. I did not have time to do a video. That's the one thing I really wanted to do a video before I left town, but it was the one thing I gave myself permission to just push it away and just show them when you do your video. It's not a big deal, Shannon. But it was a pretty good sale. It was an Etsy sale. It was a vintage Y2K JanSport Air Force Academy hoodie, sweatshirt, size large, co-ed. I had quite a bit of interest on this. I listed it on all platforms, and let me see if I can show you this. This was really cool. So it did have some like pilling right up on the front. I disclosed that, but it was a vintage JanSport hoodie. But it sold, let's see, I got it at the Goodwill outlet my last trip, June 21st for 98 cents. That was my last trip. I'm feeling like I need to go again. But I sold it for $28.99. I donated, no, they actually used, I have a discount coupon in my Etsy shop right now. So they saved $2.90 and I made $16.64. Not only that, but on Facebook, I had a local person reach out to me that they wanted to buy a lot of jewelry, and I don't have a picture to show you on that. Well, maybe I do. Hold on just a minute. Hold on just a minute. Let me see. Yeah, here it is. It was a vintage Chanel Estate silver tone jewelry, Brighton Park Lane necklace, earrings. That was the most I could squeeze in there. So it had a Brighton piece, it had a Park Lane piece in it. Really cool. I think there was 23 pieces total. Man, I'm trying to like pop up a bigger picture. There you go. So this, there was a couple other pieces that were also marked in this lot. I think this lot was an amazing lot. But I listed it for $29.99 originally. It was on sale on eBay for $26.99. And someone came along locally and they wanted it and they sent me $30. I was going to talk a little bit about my Facebook. So I cross-list. I use Vendoo, which is a cross-listing tool. On Vendoo, you can cross-list to Facebook Marketplace. I'm going to be honest, Facebook Marketplace seems to have its own algorithm also. The more I'm busy and I'm listing on Facebook Marketplace, the more items I seem to sell. So, or I get attention, I guess. So Facebook Marketplace, I use Pirate Ship to ship. I think I had told you guys on that. It's really easy. Actually, Facebook Marketplace, you used to be able to generate labels off of Facebook Marketplace, and you are no longer able to do that, or at least I'm not. They just kind of changed some shipping, so you have to rely on like a third party, and I use Pirate Ship, and it works like a charm. Knock on wood, I've never had issues with Pirate Ship. I've seen in the past where other people have, where their post offices wouldn't take it. It generates a label, and you'll see. I also use it for Etsy. So I use Pirate Ship for Etsy as well. I do not use Etsy labels. So I use it for Mercari, for Etsy, and for Facebook. So I made $30 on this lot. You all know I buy big old lots of jewelry. There's no way to figure out a cost of goods on every individual piece. So my net profit is 30 since it was a hand local sale. I left that, and my sweet husband put out the Air Force. He put the mail out on Friday for me on that. And then I had the lot of jewelry kind of tucked in a cabinet on my porch, and she picked that up Friday. Actually, she picked it up Friday. But okay, so right after I pull out of town, I start making sales. No kidding. So I ended up, I have 2 jewelry junk lots that I sold on eBay. Let me get to them. All right. So this first lot is one of my junk lots. These junk lots, I I mean, they are, when I go through the big old lots of jewelry that I buy, these are like the junk. This is the junk that no one's gonna wear. It's broken, it's tangled, there's rhinestones missing, it's tarnished beyond even like repair. Just there's loose beads, loose rhinestones. So just plain old junk. So I have learned that this actually will sell, and you just need to list it, because there are crafters and artists and all kinds of people that actually will keep their eye open for this kind of material for their projects. So you can see pearls, there's loose pearls and beads in there. So this one actually is one of the littlest lots I've sold. This was 4 pounds and 12 ounces. My title is Huge Lot, Vintage to Now Junk Jewelry for Crafting Art, Tangled, Broken, 4 pounds, 12 ounces. Oh, you know what? This is the littler one, but it sold for more. This one actually sold for $29.99. I donated $3 to my local charity. My net profit is $21.87. 21 bucks on trash. Like, most of us would just throw this away and say this is all unusable. 21 bucks, but here it is. It's going out, and I am ecstatic about it, truthfully. Like, that's amazing that I made 21 bucks off that. And every little bit back that I make in these lots helps me out. So I'm going to be packaging this, and you know what? Let me just get her done. Let me get her done. It's like when you have a lot of labels, you don't want to screw up. You know what I mean? So what I did is, I usually ship really fast. For those of you that follow me, you know, I try to do next day shipping. So since I left town and I knew I wasn't going to be able to like generate a label till I got home, I sent them a message, and both of them replied and said, no problem. So this one's going out in an 8x8x8 eBay box. So there's that one. The second one actually was more weight, but sold for less. So there's two. This is a 6 pound, 15 ounce lot of junk jewelry, and this one sold for $12.99. $12.99 is where I start my lots at. It's kind of like I'm fine with making $12.99 off of these. So I'm just fine with only making $12.99 on this. I donated $130 to my local charity, and my net profit is $8.76 on this. Oopsie. So Poshmark came out with their whole, everyone's in, I don't want to say everyone's in an uproar, but Poshmark is now saying that sharing is not as important as it used to be. They took the bundle sharing button off. I actually used Vendoo to share, or not Vendoo. You can use Vendoo to share, but I actually used my Posher VA to share. So I'm just gonna kind of wait and see what Poshmark is doing. They sure are making a lot of changes this year, right? Anyway, I kind of feel like they are, but okay. So not only did I sell those two on eBay, then on Poshmark, I had 2 sales as well that night. It was like taking, you know, that day just seemed to be kind of slow up until I left town in the evening time. And so My first sale on Poshmark was this Gap Girls Chambray polka dot jumpsuit, snap leg, ruffle, size 18 to 24 months. Really cute jumpsuit. Just an old Gap one. This sold for $11 on Poshmark. I have started my winter sales. And thank you guys for, your opinions and your knowledge on, certain things. One of you commented about, how running sales longer helps you out. So I have started seeing some sales that, like, a lot of things selling on eBay is my new sales I've got going on. And today, I think, starts the 15% off. So, all right. So this only sold for $11. And I think that's what I was asking for it, truthfully. I got this on April the 21st for $1.60. And my net profit is $6.45. So I'm happy with that because it was on sale on eBay, for 15% off as well. And I have found, even though things are on sale, people will still send you offers lower than what you're asking the sale price. So eventually, like next week, it's going to be 20% off. So I might as well just be happy with making the $11 and 20% off of that. So anyway, and then my second sale on Poshmark is, let me find it. Oh, here it is. So this was kind of, actually it surprised me this sold on Poshmark. This is a vintage Cub Scout neckerchief scarflot Bear Wolf official uniform bandana. I tried to fit as much as I could in there. This sold for $20 on Poshmark. I paid $1 for it, but it's actually an old inventory item. Although I really think I bought it this year. But for some reason, it was not in this year's inventory. So I just marked it as old inventory, but I could swear I just got it not too long ago. I don't know. My brain is confused. So they've got the little neckerchief holders. So I'm going to just put them in its own little bag. And then I actually found this in one of those jewelry lots. So I'm throwing it in for free. I'm just going to throw it in there. But this is just a lot of the old bandanas for Cub Scouts. So I got this, I feel like in one of my back sale places, I think. $20. My net profit is $16 on Poshmark. So all right, I'm just kind of folding them up. Truthfully, they're kind of a mess. This was a very surprising sale on Poshmark. A lot of people think, Poshmark is only like women's clothing, but I list my hard goods on there as well. You all see hard goods sell for me on Poshmark as well as clothing. So I feel like I see a stain on one and I'm like, I don't know that I disclosed that. I don't think I saw it actually. I wonder if I should give them a good wash before I send them. I might actually, because I do see this one has a little stain on it I didn't notice. I'm at least probably going to wash that one. You see it? It's right here. But I am throwing in an extra piece for them. Hopefully that little stain will come out. So, and then this had an old belt. And these little belt tags or whatever they're called, they are pretty scratched up. And I did note that. I mean, this is all vintage. So I did note it. But I think I will try to give those a good wash though. So $16 net profit. And then I made an Etsy sale. It got like, when it was all said and done, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, I had six sales when it was all said and done. Okay. And my Etsy sale. So I made 2 Etsy sales that day. So this is a vintage dollhouse kitchen miniature copper brass cookware kettle bean pot. So there are 3 little miniature pots here, like a dollhouse. The one has a lid on it. So this is crazy. These were in a jewelry lot. So in my spreadsheet, because I am keeping track of, what I've spent on these jewelry lots versus what I'm making. So I did note that I paid for this in a jewelry lot, so I can count it towards that. But I debated on putting this in my booth, but I thought, they're kind of cool. I'm going to go ahead and put them online. I sold them for $12.99 on Etsy. My net profit is $10.31. I just put them in a little box, and then I'm sending them in a 10 by 13. So not bad for just, junk in a jewelry lot. So, all right. Friday came along and I made 4 sales, 2 Mercari, 1 Poshmark, and 1 eBay. So let's do the eBay. This is a pair of Aloe yoga pants I had forever. They are the Aloe Gypsy Goddess Blue Butterfly Leggings, women's size extra small. There's butterflies on the bottom. They have minimal wear noted, like some fabric pilling. This was worn off. But I noted that they were on the sale in my eBay closet, and they sold for let me just say, I got these in February the 25th for $1.18. I think I got them 75% off at the Goodwill, the regular Goodwill. I sold them for $16.55. I've just had them forever. I'm so glad they sold on this sale. My net profit is $11.73. For the thank you. They're going out in a 10 by 13. Oh my, I can't hold on to things apparently. It has gotten cold here. I'm in the Midwest. I am in Missouri, and we woke up to it being in the 20s today. Down in, I think it was 28 degrees. In the morning, it's supposed to be 22 degrees. So I do have my heater on, not all the way up, but it's on. But it's cold. When I got home this afternoon, I had to run to the farm store and get my chickens a heater dish to keep their water from freezing. It was on my to get list. I wasn't expecting to get it so early, but that's okay. All right, so then I had a Poshmark sale. Now, I got this June 21st as well in my last Goodwill outlet trip. And Madewell doesn't do the greatest anymore. I really don't pick it up a lot. But this was at the Goodwill outlet. My cost of goods was 98 cents. This is small, extra small. So 2 extra small items going out this shipping trip. So I'm happy with that. But this is at Madewell. Was my title. Madewell Women's Extra Small, Lightweight, Mock Neck, Long Sleeve Base Layer Type Shirt. This does kind of have a base layer look to it. It's not wool though. That's why I said type. I think it's polyester. Let me look. Because I know I looked when I was, yeah, it's polyester and viscose. So I marked this low just because Madewell just sits, especially low sizes like this. I marked it $13, excuse me, and it sold for $13. My net profit is $9.07. Oh man. Get my shipping done. And guess what? I sold something else after the shipping. I got all my shipping done and then I sold something and I was like, well, that's gonna go out tomorrow night. So hopefully I'll have a video for you guys tomorrow night, because I know I have at least one thing to ship out now. That's always good news. And it's going out in a 10 by 13. Okay, and then I had 2 Mercari sales. This is crazy. So I stayed at my cousin owns some cabins on Airbnb. And so I got to stay in one of them. And we actually crafted in her other cabin that my aunt and 2 of my cousins stayed in. Because it's the bigger cabin. But that morning it was nice because they have a lake and there's windows all across the front of it, and I was just sitting on the couch looking out at their beautiful lake, and I was working on cross-listing because I knew there was a lot of stuff I had not cross-listed over to like Mercari. I have issues with Mercari here. It was working great there, and it must be something to do with my internet. I'm finding out. Even though I have very high-speed internet, there's some sort of glitch with Mercari trying to cross-post. So anyway, I cross-posted a ton of things to Mercari. Even though Mercari has not done the greatest, I thought, give it your all. It's 4th quarter. Let's see if we can get some sales. I did that. I received 2 sales back to back, both of them jewelry lots. So these are my jewelry lots that I kind of I don't want to say handcraft because I don't craft them, but I hand select pieces that are going to go in these lots. And they're normally a lot of like 23 or 24 items. Most of the items are unsold. This one did have what is this brand? I forgot this brand. FE Anchor? FE unsold. Here we go. I'm in my eBay store. Vintage to now. Estate, Silvertone jewelry lot, necklace, earrings, rings, FE Anchor. Yeah. So this I originally posted for $32.99. This is new, as you can tell. I believe this might be sterling. It's like a lightweight piece of jewelry, but I believe it's sterling. Anyway, I posted it a little bit higher than my other ones. It was $32.99. It sold on Mercari for $38. Now on Mercari, I don't charge shipping because I do use Pirate Ship. I don't use, so it's listed as free shipping on Mercari, But what I do is whatever I post it for on eBay, I add whatever I'm charging on the shipping, I add that to it and then post it on Mercari. So it sold for $38. That's what surprised me. Neither one of these were offers, and it seems like every Mercari sale I've ever sold has always been an offer. So it was like 2 sales right in a row. I was super happy about that. Sorry. So when I posted it, I added the shipping, and then the shipping was $7.16 on Pirate Ship. So my net profit after paying the shipping myself is $27.03. And I am just happy with that. These boxes, you've seen me ship out these boxes before. They're the white boxes, and they work great for these jewelry lots. So 2703. Okay, and then here's the second one, and this is a vintage to now gold tone jewelry lot. Necklace, bracelet, earrings, brooch, ring, belt. So this is, I kind of do my best to separate. There's a vintage belt down in there. So this one, I had it listed a little bit lower. It sold on Mercari for $36. My net profit is $25.23. It is also going out in one of these white boxes. Man, my UPS guy is going to be like, oh man, tomorrow on a cold day. Okay. Going out in another one of those white boxes. So my net profits are pretty good for the most part on some of this. That's exciting. All right, just got a little sticker on it. Okay, so that was what sold on Friday, the 4 items. Then Saturday came, I sold 3 items, 2 eBay and 1 Facebook. The Facebook lot was that jewelry lot. That's actually, she was supposed to pick it up Saturday, so I put it on my Saturday, but she ended up coming early and getting it Friday since I already had it out for her. So the 2 eBay sales were really good. This one is a pair of Gudrun Schoen. You all saw this in a recent haul, a really recent haul. I got it October the 19th for $16. So yes, my cost of goods is pretty high, but they are new with tag. Yeah, these were new with tag. They are the Gudrun Schoen women's wide leg floral cropped cotton pants, new with tag, medium pockets. Did I say wide leg floral cropped cotton pants, new with tag, medium pockets? So they are teal with little flowers on them. Here's the tag. In US dollars, the MSRP was $74. I sold these for $44.99. They say, now I paid $16 for these, like I said. So my cost of goods was up. I donated $4.50 to my local charity. My net profit is $18.04. So I'm happy with that. I mean, I knew I was paying up, but I think this is the 3rd Gudrun piece to sale. I start talking at sale. I try my best, guys. Like, just bear with me. I know at one time that drove someone crazy in my videos because they commented about it, but when I get to talking fast, you know. OMG, those things stick to your fingers. Okay. This is going in a 10 by 13 as well. So I'm happy with the 1804. You know, I knew my net profit wouldn't be as much because my cost of goods was so much, but I had a feeling these were going to sell because they had good comps when I looked them up. And then, so my second eBay sale on Saturday was, this Fry purse. Okay, I don't know why this Fry purse sat so long, but it's a Fry matte black Ivy crossbody purse, canvas leather accents, new with tag. It's brand new. There's the Fry. It's got leather accents. The crossbody, the straps are leather. It's got a tag on it still. It was $148 MSRP. Oh, there it is. I bought this at my local Goodwill. I paid up for it. I paid $13.77. I sold it on my sale for $49.50. I originally posted it like $60. I knew I was posting high, but it sold for $49.50. My net profit is $27.49, so not bad. I am going to wrap it up in some shipping paper. There is another little new with tag piece that's down in it. I like this purse. I thought it was really pretty. I love Fry quality too. I don't have many Fry pieces, but I do like the quality of it. It's nice. So this actually, I don't know, I almost felt like, okay, like maybe it is fourth quarter. I know I'm having sales, you know, in some of my shops and stuff, but it was a good weekend. I'm happy that I made sales because I did not post. I had a couple things to post, but I didn't have a lot of things to post. So whatever I had pictures in my phone, I posted. And then, so Saturday, I didn't post anything, I know. I think I did Friday. I think I had 2 items of pictures in my phone just saved. So I posted them while I was drinking coffee. But yeah, yes, Saturday I didn't have any, so. Okay, this is perfect. It's a 12 by 15 and it just folded down nice and neat. So there we go. That's how that's gonna go out. I gotta reach down and get something. Okay. Sorry. Sorry on my backside. Okay, so that was Saturday, and then today came, I've had one more Etsy sale, one Poshmark, one eBay, and one Facebook pickup. The Facebook pickup, I won't bore you with it. It was a redhead men's flannel shirt. It was blue plaid. I mean, it was a flannel shirt in blue plaid. It was a redhead. It was an extra large tall. This gentleman reached out, said he was driving through my town. He had been down to Arkansas, was coming back through and wanted to swing by. I set it on my porch the minute I got home from Kansas, and he came by and got it like a few hours later. He paid $14 for that, so I made that tonight. And then my Etsy sale, this one's sweet, okay? I'm actually waiting on them to get back with me because this is a gift. And, you know, I almost thought, should I send it in a different box? Usually if it's a gift, I like to not use the eBay stuff, but this is all I've got, and it's going out in an eBay box. And they have to know it's used because it's a vintage bottle of perfume. So I don't feel too bad about it, but I am going to kind of wrap it. I'm just going to show you what it is. I'm waiting for this gentleman to get back with me. And then I am going to send it. But I've just got this 8x8. What I'm doing is I'm wrapping the perfume in the bubble, and then I'm going to put it in a Ziploc bag in case it leaks, just to protect it. But this is some vintage White Shoulders perfume. And this was an Etsy. Vintage White Shoulders cologne perfume, 4.5 ounces. And you can tell some of it has been used. This is definitely vintage. Very cool. White Shoulders cologne. Just a really cool vintage bottle of perfume. So I just made this sale today, and the gift, this is a sweet story. The gift note they wanted me to put says, "To my darling daughter, the reason why it's so special is not only you are special, but Grandma loved it so. Grandma's signature scent." That makes me want to cry so bad. Because I have a story to tell you. Welcome to story time. But isn't that the sweetest? So I have this "You're So Sweet" card. I just happen to have it. So I wrote that little note for them. But then there was like a signature of 4 little letters. And I was like, that's not a name. And it was right after what they wanted me to say. So I'm like, are you wanting me to include those 4 letters? And they haven't got back with me. So if not, I'm just going to send it as is. I did give them the note they wanted me to. I thought it was so sweet. But anyway, this I bought at an estate sale for $4 September the 13th. I did pay up a little bit. It was like in a lot of stuff though, I'm pretty sure, and I just calculated it out. It sold on Etsy for $14.99. My net profit's only $8.22, but that's okay. So this weekend when I met my aunt, my cousins, I told you all about my grandmother that taught me how to quilt, and it'll be 12 years in February. I lost her in a car wreck. She was killed on a gravel road, and she was on her way to a friend's house to pick up her purse because she had left her purse at her friend's house. She was 76 years old. She was the most wonderful grandma ever. She was one of those grandmas that I want to be a grandma like that. She sewed, she worked out in her gardens. She was always doing something, always busy. And she babysat my little boy when he was a baby. He's 24 now. But when he was a baby, and I was a single mom back then, he was a toddler, she babysat for me. And I went back to school. And then when my husband and I met and we were both paramedics, she still would babysit because we both worked 24-hour shifts. So long story short, after she passed, I got plenty of things from her. I have so many of her quilts. I have so many of her paintings. She painted also. She was amazing. But she was the kind of grandma you would call and say, "What are you doing?" And she would say, "I'm sewing." And I would say, "Do you want to go grab lunch?" She was like, "Pick me up. I'll be ready." She was always ready to go somewhere with one of her grandkids. And we just all loved her so dearly and miss her every day. So when we get together and craft, like, she's there. Like, she is definitely there, because that is what she would want all of us to do, is to just keep on living and loving and crafting. And so we all do. My cousins craft, my aunt crafts. So we all do. And it is so special to all of us. But my aunt ended up with a lot of her jewelry, and my mom, even though my mom has 3 girls, my mom is not a jewelry person. So my aunt did get a lot of her jewelry, and she brought me my grandmother's mother's ring. And she said, I want you to have this. And so, anyway, I'm holding it back. So it was just kind of cool that I got that Etsy sale, because this happened this weekend too. And I was like, oh, it's like so special, you know, those good memories. So I'm trying to suck it in and not cry. But you know, she wore this every day of her life almost. And as a kid, I remember looking down and this was on her hand. And so it's just super special to me. And I thought that note, like that note that, you know, he left for his daughter for her grandmother's signature scent. It was just like such a coincidence, because I had just got my grandmother's ring this weekend. So anyway, that's enough of that tearful story. What else do we got? Was that it? Am I ended on that? No, I'm not. Okay. Whew. I think that's the first time I've ever cried on camera, so excuse me. But hopefully, I know there's some of you that can totally relate to my story. And, you know, at the end of the day, it's all just stuff. And none of us can take any of this stuff with us when we go. But just to be able to enjoy it the rest of my life and pass it on to, you know, maybe a granddaughter one day, is just super special to me. But I do need to get it checked, because I want to make sure the prongs are good and everything. So anyway, pretty cool. Okay, guys. Whew, sorry about that. That was deep. This is an eBay sale. And this is a Carhartt. They're Carhartt jeans. That's what they are. All right. Carhartt original fit, straight leg, flannel line jeans, women's sized 14, tall denim. This is definitely the type of whether you want Carhartt jeans on or the flannel jeans. So these are good old Carhartt women's jeans, but they are lined with flannel, which is amazing. Here's the crazy thing. As expensive as Carhartt is, these have just sat and sat. Man, I should have tried these on, actually. Oh, they're 14 talls. I was like, man, I should try these on. Because the flannel jeans, I don't know about you guys, but those flannel line thick jeans, I always have to like, my sizing is always off on them. So those maybe, if they would have been regular 14s, this maybe would have worked for me. But okay. So yeah, these have been in my closet forever. They were on the 15% off sale. I'm sorry. Gotta move this. I'm hoping I can shove them in a 12 by 15. And I feel like this is lasting forever. 48 minutes. This is a long video. Y'all are used to short videos for me, comparatively to this one anyway. So sold for $21.24 on my 15% off sale that started today. My net profit on these is $18.81. I do not have my cost of goods because it's an old inventory item. That means I've had it was last year item. So I need to make sure I have the right. Oh, and it's an international sale. That's why it had that. Yeah, international sale. this is the right one. All right, so it is going to Illinois. That is the international, I think each of us have our own shipping place we ship to. Mine is in Illinois that I ship to. So eBay shipping is amazing for international sales. You just ship it to one of eBay's international places and they get it in. I actually think they look at it and they make sure everything is correct on it, and then they ship it on and they deal with the customs and all that. So it's going out in a 12 by 15. It was heavy, but since it's in Illinois, not far from me, because I'm 3 hours from St. Louis, it didn't cost me a whole lot, so thank goodness. All right, so then my Poshmark Sunday sale is this other lot of American Girl. You all have seen these. I just sold the other one, the identical one to this. I just sold last week. But this is American Girl Truly Meet Me outfit, blue floral dress, jacket, shoes, no doll. These have glitter all over them. But there's the shoes. Now the other ones had American Girl on the bottom, but these ones actually say it on the inside. And then it came with a dress and a little jacket. So this is gonna go out. I could have just sent this in a smaller, I'm gonna put the shoes in a separate thing just because the glitter. So this sold for $24 on Poshmark. When I got this, I got all of this in a, I spent like $30 on several bags of doll clothes. And it was a chance because I saw where there was one American Girl item. Well, there ended up being several, and these two outfits, I had two exactly, this one and another one exactly like this, and that one sold last week, this one sold this week. I've already sold a different one, so I've made my money back on that. So my net profit's $19.20, so that's pretty dang good. I'm happy with that. And it's going out in a 10 by 13. All right, that was all the sales, man. But guess what? I have been getting messages on 2 items, and both of these people want me to leave it out tomorrow. So I want to show you what they are tonight. That way you will see what is going out. But this is a pair of Loft new with tags. They're elastic waist. They're the linen, like a linen blend, wide leg. They are extra large talls. I think I posted them for like $24, but I got a message and asked if I would take 18. And truthfully, with end of the year and the sales, I was fine with that. So she is going to come get them and to Venmo me the money. I was gonna look them up because I think I got them in a bag sale. I buy so much Loft stuff though. This might take me a minute. There's gray linen blend. There they are. Guess what? 98 cents. I paid 98 cents. They were in a bag sale. Loft black, new with tag, wide leg, linen blend pants, extra large tall. I got them at the Goodwill Outlet, actually, not a bag sale. Goodwill Outlet, 98 cents. I got them in June. So now, even though I got them in June, I will say I probably just listed these like 3 months ago. 3 months ago. All right, and then this, I've gotten so much attention on this sweatshirt. I'm so glad someone's coming by to get it tomorrow. But this is a vintage Park City, Utah sweatshirt. I have got so much attention on this sweatshirt. It's kind of weird, but I posted it for $19 and someone asked me if I would take 15 and I told them yes. They're gonna come pick it up off my porch tomorrow. I paid 83 cents on September 9th and it was in a bag sale. So very good cost of goods on both of these items. This will be cash in my pocket. So I am happy with that. And that's all I got tonight. That is all I got tonight. So thanks so much for watching. It was a good weekend. I know I had quite a bit just because I've been gone for several days. So thanks for watching and thanks for supporting my channel. And thanks for watching me cry, I guess. Have a good one. Start your week off good, everybody.